Primal Cave.
Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome back to Primal Cave, and today we're going to be talking about the ketogenic diet and does it really work and what's it all about. Hey, it's really a big buzzword right now, and everywhere you go, everybody's talking about it. Oh, the keto this, the keto that. But what does it really mean? What's it entail? What do you have to do? And does it really work? And what's it work for? I mean, there are just so many different things with keto right now. It's so awesome, number one. First and foremost, I can tell you from experience, I did keto about a year and a half ago. I lost 40 pounds. I wasn't looking to lose weight. At the time, I was using it to control my pain and my inflammation. I had major food allergies. I had been diagnosed with MS and neurodegenerative diseases, and I was suffering with major migraines and just so much pain and so many neurodegenerative type symptoms. So I was using it to control those symptoms, lost some weight along the way. And let me tell you a little bit about what it's all about and what I did, and go from there. So the first piece about ketogenic diet is it's not a high protein diet. It's a high fat diet. So it's about 75% fat. Actually, I eat about 80% fat, 10% protein and 10% carbs. My carbohydrates came from primarily leafy green vegetables, a lot of broccoli, a lot of cauliflower, a lot of kale and spinach, asparagus. I really focused on those entities and I ate a lot of it. I was doing my kale shakes. I did a lot of chia seeds and flax seeds, olive oil. So the piece that I primarily lived on were my fats, and those types of things are your avocados, your coconut oil, olive oil, as I mentioned before, chia seed and flax seed, and I even did pumpkin seed, and I really loved it. Then I had my proteins, and I focused on fattier pieces of protein, so some bacon. Of course, I am a huge advocate when you can, for grass-fed, organic, nitrate-free meat. So I primarily ate a lot of nitrate-free organic bacon, a lot of organic chicken, organic steak, and hamburger, liver. Huge advocate. It may not be a fan for you, but just liver alone, just the nutritional value is absolutely fantastic. So with that, I want to tell you a little bit more about how you can expect to go into ketogenic diet and sort of how you can monitor that. So the first piece is that with a ketogenic diet, you want to monitor when you're in keto and when you're not. And if you've done it for a long time, you'll know when you're in and you don't need to keep monitoring. However, to get into it, and especially at the beginning, it could be a great way to just kind of monitor yourself, and you can use something called keto strips. You can get these at any pharmacy, and you just pee on the strip, and then it tells you what color you're at, and it can give you a way to monitor your ketone levels. Now, the most important thing with ketone levels and to realize is that when you first go into it, it's going to take you usually at least 3 days to get into ketosis. And how you want to do that primarily is eat as much fat as possible. So if I hadn't mentioned before, eggs are also a great positive for most people. Some people may have food sensitivities to them, but in general, eggs are a great nutritional ketogenic food. So a lot of fat, a lot of coconut oil, a lot of chicken legs or steak or hamburger, anything that you can eat for 3 days. And I really recommend doing a very high fat and protein and really even cutting out your carbohydrates at this point. Even your veggies, even your green leafies, because it's going to help you get into ketosis much quicker. So what you want to focus on, again, your fats, and there are different kinds of fats. You want to stay away from the trans fats, but you really want to focus on things like saturated fat, believe it or not. That's what you're going to find in steak and hamburger. Saturated fat is very good for you and very good for ketosis. Also, your medium chain triglycerides, things like coconut oil, or you can buy what's called MCT, medium chain triglycerides oil, at your health food store. And you could use that as well. But that's going to help you get into ketosis much quicker. So the bad part about ketosis and getting into it is you might be a little sluggish for 3 days, a little bit grumpy. I have to admit, I was a little grumpy. You probably want to do it on a weekend when you can control your level of physical activity. You might want to just stay low, relax, drink a lot of herbal tea, and just take care of yourself, because you may get a little moody. I mean, you realize, and I can say this from experience, I'm addicted to sugar. So to come off that was a really tough thing for me. And I had a little bit of emotional anxiety, and I got really hungry, and I really had some cravings for those first 3 days. So you want to be in a state where you can take care of yourself and nurture yourself and set yourself up for, being successful. So take the stuff out of your house that may tempt you ahead of time. Trust me, I know my husband and my son were not happy when I had to do this. But all of the bagels and pastries and cakes and chips and all of those things that could have been a temptation for me had to go out of the house for those 3 days. That's how you want to set yourself up for success, is put yourself in a situation where you're going to be successful. Also, the other great thing that you can do is drink warm water with pink Himalayan salt. It's really going to help you with your electrolytes, because a lot of people do get what's called a keto flu. Keto flu, you can get a headache, or you can get really sick to your stomach, besides being really grumpy, which just may happen to anybody. Maybe that was just me, but all of those things can be part of what comes up for you. So the Himalayan salt with some warm water, drink that a couple times a day, maybe a half a teaspoon a couple of times a day. That will help you as well. So with that said, Teddy, you are just crazy. So sorry for my dog. He's not going into ketosis. This is just how he always acts. He's just, sorry. Not like my other little guy, Harry, who's just perfect, but it's okay. Thank God they're animals and not children, and I don't have to pay for psychological counseling. So anyway, about keto. I love it. Huge advocate. I'm happy to help you in any way if you have any specific questions. I mean, there's so much more to share about it, but primarily you're talking about eating about 80% fat, the good fat, real food. If you can stay with the real food, I do recommend, at least at the beginning, to stay away from nuts and seeds as much as you can. I just find that can be something that can be very addictive, at least it was for me, and it may be something where I would overeat a lot of. Also, just if you are eating nuts, things that are higher, nuts that are higher in fat and lower in carbohydrate and protein are going to be your best. So the best ones are macadamia nuts and walnuts. You don't want to eat any peanuts, because peanuts are actually a legume, and you don't want to eat any legumes on a ketogenic diet. Those are a big no-no. I'm going to come around in my next video about lectins and about beans and some of those things that you may be having some problems with, that you may not even know you're having problems with. And these are all big red flags. If you have a weight problem or a thyroid problem, or you have other autoimmune, like rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, psoriasis, food allergies, a lot of these things are from what we're eating. So I'm going to go into some details about those with you and kind of chat with you in the future videos about some things that you can do different, some foods that you can eat different, and how I can really help you along your path. But to start with now, hey, feel free to try the keto diet. 3 days, 3 days. Clean out your house before you start. Get a plan in place. Cook your food ahead of time. Have it ready. Have your Himalayan salt. Have your herbal tea. Get your coconut oil. And get your ketone strips. Hey, I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you at the next video. Have a great time. Bye-bye.